The Boston Celtics came up a little bit short against the 2022 NBA Finals champs Golden State Warriors, but with that being said, when your team gets so close, it's hard to know in the short term which moves you should make. You don't want to fix it if it ain't broke. For today's video, guys, I have the perfect trade that will guarantee the Boston Celtics would become the 2023 NBA champions. So I noticed that I did not make a Boston Celtics follow-up video to their loss in the 2022 NBA Finals, and the reason I have not done that is because I've been sick the past few days, man. Like, literally the night of the NBA Finals, I went to a Logan's Roadhouse, and I don't know if I ate some roadkill, man. I don't know what it was, but it will always be the NBA Finals that I will remember that I got turned up at a Logan's Roadhouse, resulting in food poisoning, man. It's always going to be like that in my mind. But yeah, so I want to talk a bit about the Boston Celtics, because I was debating if I want to do a rebuild or if I want to do a discussion video. Wasn't really quite sure, man. But realistically, there has been a trade on my mind. It has been there for like weeks now, and I was waiting for the right opportunity to talk about it, and today is that opportunity. Now, before we get going on this video here, guys, I know I ask it every single video, but straight up, man, I cannot grow this channel without you. Like, I can make 3-4 videos a day. I can do all that, man. I can edit for 17 billion hours, but I really can't grow the channel without your guys' support, man. So please leave that like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Would be greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much, man. We've been gaining like 200, 300 brand new subscribers the past few days. You guys are absolutely awesome. Like, it really means a lot. But man, let me start off by saying this. If you are an NBA team and you are trying to contend for an NBA championship, or you're trying to, you know, go up that next tier, what you need to be doing is getting on your phone with the Orlando Magic. I think the Orlando Magic have some of the most just tradable pieces on their team right now, because basically what's happened is the Magic have fallen victim to the injury bug for quite a few seasons now, man. Have that be Jonathan Isaac, have that be Markelle Fultz, have that be Chuma Okeke even, man. Like, his rookie season he missed because of injury, and what results is the team's unable to sustainably build the team up in a way that results with them getting better every single season, because, you know, their young player gets hurt and they find themselves right back in the lottery. And that's why over the years they have really built up this huge pool of assets. I mean, I look at the guard spot, they got damn Jalen Suggs playing the 2, because it's just, you know, you already got Cole Anthony out there. That doesn't even account for Markelle Fultz when he's back in the rotation. It's like they got so much of good things out there, man, but they really have to eventually go out and pick who they want to represent the franchise, right? Same thing with the big opposition too, man. I mean, obviously, you know, they got Mo Bamba, looks like he's probably going to move on from the team, and Wendell Carter. You know, Jonathan Isaac fits in with that too, and obviously they're going to get probably like Chet or Paolo in the draft, so it's kind of what I'm getting at with them, man. Which is why, if you're trying to contend, and these teams are trying to get rid of these players because they want to consolidate the roster, man, that means you can probably get them for a pretty good price. And without a doubt in my mind, for the Boston Celtics to just bolster their chances of winning the NBA Finals next year, they need to go out and trade for both Jonathan Isaac and Terrence Ross. I wouldn't even go as far as say Markelle Fultz, but you know, we're trying to do like a, you know, big, huge blockbuster trade here, man. But damn if I didn't think that Jonathan Isaac just fit into this team absolutely perfectly. So who is Isaac, by the way? You might not really know about him because he's been injured for 2 years in a row. And yeah, man, I got his stats up here in front of me. Now, his stats, they're not like overwhelming. What I will say is I remember the game that Jonathan Isaac went down with his injury yet again. I think it was the same game. Maybe it was a few games before. But I always remember it, man, because the man was 6 for 7, had 15 points. He had like 3 blocks. It just sticks in my mind for whatever reason. Because I remember it was like early in the season, and you could tell that this man was ready to break out, not only for a Defensive Player of the Year award, but also Most Improved Player overall, man. So yeah, I really just heavily have memories of Jonathan Isaac. Been a huge fan ever since. So, yes, he last played in the 2019-2020 NBA season. Only about 34 games that year, but he was averaging 12 points, 7 rebounds, about 1 to 2 steals, and over 2 blocks per game, man. He's 6'11". I think he's mostly a power forward, but I think with his defensive length, especially in today's NBA, definitely could play some center and probably even small forward at times. I know he can definitely guard all 5 positions. And yeah, with those 2 torn ACLs, why does that make him a perfect fit with the Boston Celtics? Because next year he goes on the team, comes off the bench as a 6-man. Yeah, I'm a kind of a firm believer that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think that the Boston Celtics should rock it out with the same starting 5 next season, man. I think it should be Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, and Robert Williams. I think that's great. Like, I don't know. But I also recognize, too, that Al Horford is going to be another year older. And, yeah, I mean, just, not everybody's a LeBron James. You can play that until they're 97 years of age. And, yeah, man, I think eventually, like, Al Horford, you can still get the greatness out of him, maybe just not in, like, larger quantities. So you want your next plane up in there. So Jonathan Isaac, who I think, man, getting mentored by Al Horford would do so much for his game. Coming off the season as a six-man and eventually work his way, conditioning-wise, getting through an entire 82-game season would be a big accomplishment for him. And eventually taking over for Al Horford. Both very tall players that shoot threes and play great defense, man. Like, I feel like those similarities are definitely there, and Isaac could really transition into what Al Horford is already for this Boston Celtics team. I think he's fantastic, man. I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of people know what Jonathan Isaac could be. I think he's a big what-if story, but not as big as maybe other players have been in the past. Just because, for one, he's still very young. He's only going to be 25. He can still come back and have a very productive NBA career. But also what he does great is defense. And let's call it like it is, man. Like, defense ain't like the sexiest thing to advertise when it comes to the game of basketball. Like, people like, shooting threes and dunks and all that good stuff out there. Man, I love all of it personally. I love some good defense. Yes. And then obviously too, talking about Terrence Ross. Terrence Ross has not really been like he's been great for the Magic for a few seasons now. I remember him a lot on the Raptors also, but always one of the best bench playing scoring guards in the NBA. I don't know how old he is right now, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I've not really watched a lot of Terrence Ross over the past few years, but I still very much think that he could provide, 14 points per game off the bench with decent efficiency, man, like 37% from three. I think that's a pretty good role for him in the Boston Celtics. I think that's kind of what they liked at times in the playoffs there, was just like that little umph off the bench. I think Terrence Ross is definitely that player to do so. So, yeah, you look at both sides of it. The Magic do this simply because, consolidating the roster to an extent makes a lot of sense. You got to find your starting five, because if you keep on running all these different lineups or players going in and out, like, you're never going to find that foundation, that chemistry of the team. Got to give the right players a chance, but that's for their management to decide, who exactly is the right player and why. And then, for the Celtics side of things, you simply do this just because you need that Horford replacement eventually. And I think maybe, snatch, Jonathan Isaac before he has a chance to showcase himself on a different team or the Orlando Magic, I think is also a really good move. But overall, man, Celtics, you guys got a great team. Like, this was a team that I was rooting for to start off the playoffs. I don't know, man. Just I really do like Jason Tatum a lot. I know he came up short in the NBA Finals, but I'm a firm believer that when it comes to the game of basketball, this is not what success looks like. Like, it's just not like that. What happens is it's stepping stones along the way. At first it's getting to the play-in tournament. Then it's maybe losing the first round of the playoffs. Maybe it's losing in the conference finals or in the second round, or, missing out on the game 7 or something like that. Whatever it may be, it's all stepping stones. And what the Celtics team has now is a lot of experience getting to the NBA Finals. Yeah, coming up short, but that doesn't mean that fire still doesn't burn deep. You guys are in a very good situation. At the end of the day, only one team can win the finals, and it can suck when it's not yours, especially when they're there. But, you got to enjoy the process. And Celtic fans, you got to enjoy the process a lot longer than 28 other teams did in the NBA. So, don't feel too bad about yourself there. But thank you guys all so much for watching. Yeah, this wasn't like a rumor or nothing like that. This is just simply something that's been on my mind. Just like, Isaac, Celtics, yes. But that's all we got, guys. Peace out, my friends.